Here's a very basic introduction into Updip Traps. So a one-way Updip Trap would basically be drilling where no oil can be trapped, which is pointless. A two-way Updip Trap. So you could have potentially just a rolling hill in effect, but if oil migrates from, say, this point across, once it hits the top, the path of least resistance isn't to go down, it's to travel sideways. So once it hits the high point, instead of coming from that direction to that direction, it will either come towards or away from you on a 2D plane. What you do occasionally get is a horsed fault, which is where the line is obviously moved. So if you've got oil migration coming from this direction, instead of providing a path where the oil would normally migrate, it might form a tight barrier against and obviously fill this sort of area in the side. So three-way trap. This is now your model. So one way is effectively that. Two-way would be just a rolling hill, so the oil would migrate from depth to shallow and then go left and right, but again, it doesn't end up with a pressurised well in most cases, and that's the problem with Empyrean Energy. So three-way trap is where you've got a feeder channel coming into the system, and then, as an example, plonk a pen under there. So you end up with a system where oil will feed to this side of the well, and it will obviously be trapped at that side of the well as well. So normally with these, you'll get a feeder channel coming from the deep point up, so from any direction. But again, if you imagine, this can still allow oil to migrate this direction. So again, you could end up with an overburden of oil, and as long as there's adequate pressure from the feeder channels, etc., it is all good. But the best that's out there is the four-way Updip Trap. So with this one, you get a feeder channel, and then you get this oil migration. In Empyrean's example, it's coming obviously from two potential feeder kitchens from the south, and as it's coming towards the well, you end up with this overburden on four sides. So what that does is it hyper pressurizes the oil trap. So the oil that's in place fills effectively an upside down bowl until it is filled to spill. And it doesn't matter what way the oil comes into the trap, it will obviously have to fill it up, over pressurize it, overburden that trap, and then only at that point would the oil do a fill to spill. So if you imagine it's coming from four directions, it will fill up this entire area until the lowest point, and then it will overspill. So, and with the gas cloud, if you watch my other video, you'll know why I believe this is going to be filled with P10 plus about 15% on top, if it's in line with other wells that are known on this geology. And then this overburden, this overspill, will then be going off to the much shallower, but roughly 3 times the size topaz drill. And that is why I love the geology. Four-way Updip Trap with a gas cloud in position shows that the well integrity, oil migration channels, etc., are all logically there from a geological and a petrophysical point of view. If there's any questions that I can answer on anything to do with Empyrean Energy, please feel free to let me know. Thank you for your time.